Audio Jungle.
I am the Divine Prince, Ty Emmecca, Pan-African Spiritualist, Practitioner, Author, Advisor, Elagoon, Oloye, Hoodoo, Obeya, Bokur. I reside in this beautiful and legendary, historic Treme, New Orleans, Louisiana. So join me as I share food, music, culture, tradition, the rhythms, and the flavor of New Orleans voodoo. Respect the voodoo. Greetings, 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 and salutations. Honor and respect. Honor and respect. Honor and respect. You are listening now live and always in archive at your leisure and convenience to the Divine Prince, Pan-African Spiritualist, Practitioner, Author, and Advisor, Elagoon Oloye Hoodoo Obeya Bokur, broadcasting now live from this beautiful, historic, legendary, and most enchanted city in America, New Orleans, Louisiana, sharing with you in all things spiritual, mystical, metaphysical, cosmic, universal, healing, and holistic, evolutionary, and revolutionary from a Pan-African hoodoo world spiritualist perspective, understanding that all is truly and indeed a blessing. If you can just see beyond the veils, for it is all just an illusion and a test, and one of the greatest divine mysteries of this life cycle. We are sponsored by, supported by, empowered by NONVD, New Orleans International Voodoo Day. New Orleans International Voodoo Day. Please continue to support us, visit with us, volunteer, donate, sponsor us by visiting our website at www.voodooday.org. VODOUDAY.org. voodooday.org. And you will find that website link streaming at the bottom of your screen as we welcome you to another week of amazing podcasting here on Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes, Voodoo Hoodoo 101. I want to greet each and every one of you present with me now here live in my chat box and in social media on a platform near you, whether it be Facebook group, Facebook profiles, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter X, Instagram, my EarthCam page, my website, or anywhere the link may be found. We certainly are grateful and appreciative of your attention and your support. And I also want to thank both of my co-hosts, starting with my team member and NONVD member, Elder Reggie, known as Green Soap on the platform. Elder Reggie, greetings and salutations to you and yours. How you doing, and how was your weekend?
Um, Thank you, Divine. Everything was good. Now I begin to look forward to the show. It's just that after our weekly meeting we had Friday, it's just a lot of thoughts running through my head, and so over the weekend I was giving that some thoughts. That's just that was mainly about it.
How you doing, Prince?
Yes, we must have lost him. How you doing, Sister Toni? As
I'm
always,
all right, Elder Reggie. How are you?
we good. We good. Yes.
My apologies. I was on the mute.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Prince?
Always a
Mhm.
blessing. Always a blessing. Always forward motion with me. I don't spend a whole lot of time over, you know, spilt milk or what has. I'm always looking ahead to the next goal, the next achievement, the next challenge. So it's May Day, as they say, May 5th. You know,
Yeah.
somewhere in the universe they're circling the maypole. Some people might say that looks suspiciously phallic, but
Yeah.
I'm certainly moving forward with the year, with the season. It'll be blazing hot here in New Orleans before we, can blink and bat an eye. And keeping an eye out on the climate change and the weather events, and certainly any threat of storms or flooding is something that we certainly have to continue to mitigate against and pay close attention to.
Yes. Well, we was talking about herbs and plants. So I wanted to look up some of the herbs and plants that you see a lot of in the South, really in the Delta, in the swamps. So I looked up cattail. Cattail was used by our ancestors and our Native American ancestors. It's a very, very versatile plant. Um, it also is found in Northeast Africa. So some of our ancestors on coming here would have known what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Certainly.
several parts of it are edible.
Mm-hmm.
The stem, the seeds that come on it, the leaves are used to make baskets and mats, sleeping mats. They weave them together. The long leaves, they're very durable and strong. And also, it's an invasive plant. It grows very fast. And at one time on the waterways, you could have miles of cattail,
Mm-hmm.
uninterrupted cattail. And the medicinal was you could take the leaves and burn them and take the ash and the sap when you break the stem. Mix it together and put it on open wounds. The cattail plant has a substance in it that makes blood clot and coagulate and makes bleeding stop. And they would put that on open wounds, say like from a whip. And they would make that up and put them on there. Then they would take the large elephant ear
Hmm.
and place that on the back or around the wounded area because it was a big broadleaf, and put
Or
that to
even,
keep the gnats and the insects away from the wounds.
Sister Tony, they would also use the what we used to call the angel hair out of the corn, the
Yeah,
fluffy, stringy part, in
yeah.
between the corn and the husk, also as a
The silk.
antiseptic. The silk, yeah.
Yeah, so in the elephant ear, but that cattail grew very fast. And when it gets brown at the tip, when it really looked like the cat's tail,
Mm-hmm.
they would take that off and use it as an insulation for moccasins and blankets and the papoose boards that they made for the babies. They would fill that as kind of a mattress stuffing on small items like
Hmm.
moccasin boots and papoose boards.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the elephant ear, and elephant ear also was a medicinal, used for medicinal purposes. If you boil it, it was used for earaches. The sap from the branch of it was also good for mixing herbs together, holding them together to make poultices and salves.
Mm.
And they were good for headache and colic, stomach ache, but you had to be careful. You had to cook it and broil it real good. It's toxic if you eat it raw.
Mm.
Hmm. They also
But
would eat the cattails, pancakes, bread, casseroles, stir
yes,
fried. The cattails were also a food source.
yeah, they used them. They ate the seeds off of them when it was time
Hmm.
for them to come. When the brown part had came off, but you had to be very the leaves of the elephant ear have a lot of antioxidants, and you have to boil that and cook that really, really well. Because, like I said, raw or not cooked enough, you
Mm.
could get a poison. It could make you sick.
Mm.
And that's also something they could have used to make Master sick.
Oh yeah, among other plants.
Yes. But
Mhm.
the cattails is a very versatile plant. They ate it. They used it for medicine. They used it to make things. They used it like Prince said to eat. I mean, it was really a very versatile plant.
Mhm.
And let's
And
not
you can,
forget, many of the North American plants today. Now, certainly not cattail. That we probably found cattails here, but
yeah,
many of the plants that we had access to were actually brought here as a part of the journey of the Middle Passage.
yeah,
Mhm.
Necklaces made out of seeds and beans that could be replanted, like seeds of licorice from West Africa, um, sesame, Beninese sesame, yams, okra, black eyed peas were items that were brought from West Africa to the Americas and then subsequently became, staple foods. But even things like cola nuts or cola seeds, which we had, much easier access to before the Coca-Cola company uh, dominated, were often used to alleviate stomach pains, stomach ulcers, and other um, conditions. And
Mhm.
remember, we talked about the usage of cotton too in the
Mhm.
previous platform, to address not only feminine women's health issues, but even to cause abortions. So much so that the white colonizers sought a solution, I believe, with witch hazel to counteract the effects of cotton root, which were rumored to induce miscarriages.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
yeah, and it was a lot of that going on. One thing my mama told me about, her mama being a midwife and her journeys in midwives. Y'all remember those brown sponges? I mean, real sponge.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
The real sponge. Well, the midwife would take her hands, much like a gynecologist, and feel into the uterus of the woman, and they would cut out that sponge and sew a white thread on it, somewhere on it, and the woman would insert that into her
Mm.
as a form of birth control, not just from massa, but also from husbands who did not understand if she had one more baby, she gonna die.
Mm.
Yes,
from
indeed.
women who had, difficult childbirths. And the women were taught how to remove it and clean it and reinsert it.
Wow.
And I found that really interesting. And I remember a few years back, one of the sanitary companies came out with the sponge for birth control.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, that is hundreds of years old, and y'all coming out like y'all just invented it.
They say history repeating itself, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how well it did. I don't see them advertised for it no more. But it did its purpose back in the day. And my mama say, and the man never knew the difference.
Yeah.
He never knew the difference.
Yeah. But I'm curious of. I guess it's a root. It's the yeah. It's called yam or cassava.
A
Mm-hmm.
And
cassava root.
yeah, I wonder why it didn't take root in the Americas. I know they have a form of it down in Mexico or Central America, but in Northern America, it just don't take root. We have what we call sweet potatoes, but that's not it.
No, that's not it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll have to look into the cassava root.
because it's such a big staple for all the African dishes. Almost everything they eat that cassava with it, like we do with rice, maybe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they would have wanted to bring that staple with them to the new world. I guess
Well, I
it
mean,
just
you do.
right.
I'm sorry. You do find it in like
Mexico,
the
right?
Latin markets and yeah, the
Yeah,
stores where the Hispanic population,
The
you know,
international stores,
yeah, the international stores.
right.
ideal market.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Mhm.
I was just wondering why it didn't take root like in America. It's in North America. Yeah,
Well, I'll try to find out and see why it didn't take root here like the sweet potato did.
yes.
Because the Irish potato, look, my mama would never say Irish. She would
Okay.
say Irish potato.
Or-
Irish
I heard,
potato.
I
And
heard
that's
that.
what I call it to this day. The potato famine that the Irish went through, the potatoes that they grew, now they took root down here real good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the brown skin potatoes. But
Yeah.
she never said Irish potato. She said arch potato.
Now, the Germans, when they came, of course, they brought cabbage. Did they bring carrots? I know they came with cabbage and another form of potato that they planted, and especially in the Louisiana region.
Yeah, you have to really go back and see like years ago when we talking about like in the 1800s and stuff when people started coming here, the vegetables didn't look like we know them to look today.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Like the carrot actually way back in the day looked like a long beak.
Oh, okay.
They were purple. And it was through how you want to say horticulturing, mixing plants together.
Mm-hmm.
Like they make a plant, like they say broccoli is a made plant. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
broccoli wasn't made in a laboratory. It was made, but it was made from bringing other plants together, cross
Right.
pollinating other plants. It wasn't made like in a test tube. It was
Okay.
done with regular plants and just mixing them until they got kind of like breeding dogs. They breeded plants like that. But I seen pictures of how food used to look back in the 1800s compared to how they look now.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't think I could eat them carrots. I'm
Mm.
serious. I don't think I could eat that carrot. And
Carrots arrived in America in Jamestown, Virginia, from Europe, and were probably, I guess, bioengineered is the correct word, in the 17th century in the Netherlands.
Okay.
yeah, people was trying, I guess, to get different flavors or make them look a little better because they look sad. Even watermelons back then don't look like they look
Hmm.
today when you cut them open. So a lot of our foods that we eat now, even that we plant with heirloom seeds, don't look like they originally started off looking.
Mm.
So you might want to do that, Elder Reggie. Go
Yeah.
back and Google,
Mm-hmm.
how foods looked back then. And like I said, also, it's a good program that's on cable called The Foods That Built America.
Yeah, yeah.
And you really could learn a lot about that off of there. And also Mysteries of the Museum. I learned today about how Mr. Borden, Dr. Borden, who we have a milk brand named after,
Mm-hmm.
found out how to keep the milk from going bad. He came up with what was called condensed milk. They were talking about on boats from these foreign countries that they actually had to have cows on the boat to provide fresh milk. And the cows had got sick on a particular voyage that Dr. Borden was on. And some children died, people died, and he couldn't figure out he figured out it was from the milk, but he couldn't figure out why. So it took him like 4 years to get it down straight. To get the condensed milk that you could put in a can, which their cans was different from our cans.
Oh.
You know, they wasn't vacuum seal cans. They was tin cans with like a mason jar top in the inside of them to seal it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to keep it cool too. So you can find a lot of very, very interesting stuff in the daytime. My TV just plays for hours on either Mysteries at the Museum, something educational,
Yeah.
while I'm doing other stuff. And if something really catches my ear, I'll stop and listen to it. And but our ancestors, like I say in my head, the only thing I keep thinking about, how did they know this? Who told them this? Because in some cultures, they say that what we call aliens came down amongst the people.
Right.
And I'm wondering, did they tell them this? Did they give them this knowledge?
Well, if I could say this without sounding spooky, otherworld beings do exist.
Oh, I
And
believe that.
yeah, and even in present time, they still exist, and that's what I want to add to the conversation.
Yeah, they still exist. But my thing is, who is the person that start, like we always say, they was the first person to do this, they was the
Mhm.
first person to do that. I would like to know, how they came about knowing the healing properties of all of these plants. Was it trial and error?
Yeah,
It just,
if I can add once again, sometimes it's the plant. Sometimes you sit in meditation with a plant or root or bark. And if you get to that meditated level, it will download the information to you. And I know some of the healing modalities came that way from observation and people just going into a meditative state.
yeah, I can see that.
Oh, for sure, sure. In 2012, I was in Ghana studying herbalism, and I was watching their techniques, talking, and this is what they was doing. They was actually getting downloads. I'm using that word from the computer, but they would go into meditative states and get this information and bring it forward.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, as an herbalist, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
As an herbalist, you could pick a plant. You could take any plant. You might could pluck it at 4 o'clock, and you can't get no results. But the plants say it like to be plucked at 8 p.m. And then when you pluck it at 8 p.m., it's gonna work the way it's supposed to work. All these little technical things like that, you need to be learned and known, and it's coming from the plants themselves, or trees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom did have, I can't remember what it was, but it was like a grass. And she said you had to pull it. She meant harvest, but she said you have to pull it on the full moon.
See? Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a kid, a little kid. I ain't 12 years old yet. I just want to pull it and get on out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just want to get out. I don't care. Just come on. But I did remember what she said. Like I said, I just can't remember that plant right now. Maybe if I see it, I might say, oh, yeah, you got to pull that on a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing a lot of plants bring back a lot of memories.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing things bring back a lot of memories, that we talked about and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But those little nuances are important. When a plant is harvested, what season, what time of day. I mean, even the
Mm-hmm.
positioning of the sun, and the moon in relationship to the plant, and then ensuring a continued harvest thereafter. I mean, we're never seeking to, kill a plant off, wipe out, certain species of plants, much the way the modern world is doing today with things like white sage. But
Mm-hmm.
knowing how and how much to harvest, and to offer that respect back to the plant, back to nature, so that it continues to provide us as we continue to provide space, and room for it as well. So both of you brought up some really valid points, and we certainly appreciate um, all of
Mm-hmm.
your contributions and commitment to um, daily podcasting at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're certainly grateful for those who joined us live in chat. The Alchemist, greetings to you and yours. Imani Sankofa, one of our regular participants and listeners. Build with Shahid, greetings to you. Thank you for coming on in. Your devices were not connected or were not connected properly, so I was not able to actually bring you up on the switchboard, but we certainly can see you in the chat. And we look forward to you all sharing with us again and being present tomorrow as we discuss more about plants, edible, medicinal herbs, roots, plants, and their values, magical values, nutritional values, and their usages, and certainly their usages as it relates to our ancestors for survival. So
Mm-hmm.
we will talk about, boneset. We'll talk about many other plants that you don't hear the names of quite as much nowadays. And certainly as we continue to build subdivisions and modern complexes and housing and kill off these virgin forests, virgin grasslands, virgin areas where we can still find, Jimson weed, pokeweed, May apple. So we'll talk about those in coming podcasts, and I invite you all to please be here and share with us, share your memories, share your experiences, share your knowledge, and certainly continue to support us with our international New Orleans Voodoo Day by visiting us at www.vodouday.org, voodooday.org. Until next time, all is truly and indeed a blessing. And no matter what you do, respect the voodoo. Good night, all.
Good
Good
night.
night,
Hey,
everybody.
good night. All right.
Talk to me nice, I get sensitive. Choice of your words to convey. Your intentions might mean the best, but it's in your approach and delivery. I get so through by my triggers, probably from niggas who thought that they owned me. Really consider that I do, you do, we do good on our own. Back on my throne, like yeah. Accept me at my worst, like you do my best. Better than I was last year. I've been facing tests, separate from the rest. Hope you're facing all your fears. I've been going so damn hard. It's been taking all this time. Giving up ain't in my blood. It's all in the signs. It's all in the signs. All in the signs. It's all in the signs. It's all in the signs. It's all in the signs. I'm so nice, everybody's type. Eyes on the clock of my demise. Don't you fall into the quicksand. It's better on the cement. Telling no story, no power in your past. Even if you're 30, gotta make it last. I do, you do, we do good on our own. Back on my throne, like yeah. Accept me at my worst, like you do my best. Better than I was last year. I've been facing tests, separate from the rest. Hope you're facing all your fears. I've been going so damn hard. It's been taking all this time. Giving up ain't in my blood. It's all in the signs. It's all in the signs. All in the signs. It's all in the signs. It's all in the signs.